You're now watching a clip from the Inspired by show. You can watch the full episode on our YouTube channel or listen on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. So make sure to head over there, leave us a 5-star rating if you enjoyed it, and follow the show.
I was like, okay, how am I going to tell this story with as much impact as possible? And a hero of mine is Gary Vaynerchuk. And he was about to release an NFT before anyone knew what NFTs were. And if you don't know what NFT is now even, it's a non-fungible token. It's like a digital token that gives you utility to do various things. If you buy this token, you can come to my conference for 3 years. That was how it worked. And I sat there with not much money because we just had to try and prop up the business. And these tokens were going for between £1,000 and £10,000. And they were little squiggles that Gary had drawn. And I walked into the kitchen at home and said to my wife, I've just bought this, and showed her a drawing, a really bad drawing of a turkey. And she said, all right, are you okay? And I was like, yeah. She was like, how much was that then? It was £3,000. You fucking what?
I can imagine.
And she's like, we're selling the house. I was like, yeah, but it lets me go to VeeCon for 3 years. Well, what's VeeCon? I was like, it's going to be the largest marketing, entrepreneur and Web3 conference in the world, and I get to go. She's like, well, okay. Not to be funny, you run a local Shropshire marketing agency. What's going on? I said, I'm going to go and meet GaryVee. And she just sort of laughed at me. And 3 days later, that token was worth 157 grand.
Wow.
And I'd just given myself a platform to tell my message to millions of people instead of a couple of hundred. And that's a work in progress, but I'm pretty close now. So I've met Gary 4 times. He knows who I am. He wears a Shrewsbury Town shirt now because I bought him one. So yeah, hopefully we're in the midst of me about to be able to tell my story to a ridiculous amount of people.
That's incredible. There's so many things I want to ask about our story. So I'm going to go in my logical brain. You've decided not to furlough any of your team. You've decided you're going to sell your house or basically use your own money to do that and invest in something brand new.
Yeah.
Your wife sounds like an incredible human being to even think, and excuse my language because of the history of your family, but to think, is he okay?
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
Because there's a huge level of belief in there to go, has he lost his mind?
The conversation at home was maybe he's not got depression, maybe he's got bipolar, and that he's having a manic episode. Wow. And I wasn't, but I knew it looked like I was. So
how did you overcome that? How did you show that to say to people, I'm not mad, this is actually going to work? So you've obviously bought this NFT. It's gone up in value. How do you get from having this ticket to an event to suddenly meeting him 4 times, him wearing the shirt you bought him, knowing who you are?
So the first time I met him, I was struggling with what to say. And I knew I was going to meet him, but had time beforehand. And I was like, do I try and ask a really good question and record it and then show it to people to help them? Or do I be vulnerable, Joel, and tell him the truth? So I stood opposite him and I said, hi, I'm Joel. I run a marketing agency in the UK. This, and this has happened. And I think you saved my life. And I don't think anyone else had said that day. Like, a lot of people had asked a lot of him. I said, I just wanted to say I'm really grateful, thank you. And that's all. And then I walked away. And so I asked nothing of him. And I think that stuck, because then when I met him the second time, it was in London at a boutique event. There was only 20 of us, and he remembered me. And then I'd already plotted to give him a Shrewsbury Town shirt. So background on that is I support Shrewsbury Town. I'm a season ticket holder. Our biggest rivals are Wrexham. Now, for anyone who's not into football, Wrexham are owned by Ryan Reynolds. So the fact that Wrexham are 2 divisions below us, our biggest rivals are now like the 4th biggest team in the UK because of their ownership. As I passed Gary Vaynerchuk a box, and then it is a Shrewsbury Town shirt with Gary 5 printed on the back. and a handwritten letter from me explaining how it is my sworn duty in life to buy Shrewsbury Town and destroy Ryan Reynolds.
I love that.
And I was like, you'll never forget me now. Like, I've absolutely nailed it. And then recently I've been back to VeeCon and I saw him at a brunch before the conference started. And he was like, hi, Joel, great to see you again. I was like, yes, I've smashed it. Like, we're pals now. And then when I met him for the 4th time, I got him to record some videos for my team. And like, I'm in.
Wow, fantastic. Do you know what I love the most about the whole story, though? Was that you didn't do what everybody already does. Go up and go, oh my God, Gary, please can we have a video together? Please can we have a selfie? Please can I have?
Yeah.
Right? You just gave him, and obviously I don't know the man, I'm speaking for him, but I imagine you saying you saved my life, not only was a pattern drop for him, because he's probably already emptying, going, okay, who's next? Let's be real.
Yeah.
People ask so much.
It was literally a queue of thousands of people and him stood like, you've got 30 seconds, go.
Yeah, and so you really made an impact on that. Now, question for you. Everyone always says, don't meet your heroes.
Yeah.
What do you believe on that concept now you've met him?
I would have agreed with that concept prior to meeting him. He is the most legit loving man I've ever met. And that's a weird thing for me to say. I'm from like a rural Shropshire town. So he just gives and gives and gives and gives and gives. So much so that at this VeeCon, when it was his moment to do like the closing speech, someone who told him they were really nervous and called GoPro Guy because he wore a GoPro on his head for the whole conference, Gary got him up on the stage and gave him the opportunity to close the show.
No way.
And the guy absolutely nailed it. And I like had tears in my eyes. I was like, why would you do that? This is your moment. And then you've given someone a platform who nobody knows who they are in front of thousands of people. Yeah, you're the real deal. You are what you say you are.
And probably changed that person's life.
Yeah,
Like,
his Twitter like blew up, like hundreds of thousands within an hour.
wow. So meeting your hero really was what you thought it would be.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah.